Hello, this is Victor. I'm here with a new painting tutorial, and this time I'm going to explain how to paint the Raptoryx like the one that you see here. Okay, I'm going to paint this one that you have next to this one, and I will paint it to do this color scheme, this combination of greenish skin with purple and green feathers, and then the color also in green. So let's start painting this one. As you can see, I start with the zenithal priming, quite white. Okay, so I wanted to go quite white, but you can see that the bottom is darker, and this side is a little bit darker than the other. Okay, and we are going to apply the base. All the base will be done with contrast paints. Okay, so I'm really exploring the contrast paints, and then we are going to do contrast paints and then highlights and shading as well. So we start with this one, Griff Charger Grey, and we are going to apply this on all the parts that are skin. We want to be careful not to go out of the skin. I don't want to dirten the feathers or the color and other parts, okay? But you can go with quite a big brush, and you do like that, okay? What we want to avoid is that the paint is pulling, so you have to, I always think that like if it's a wash, okay? So I try to be careful. The only thing I will not be that careful, maybe it's this type of spikes, as they will go in black, and we can go over them, okay, with black. So I apply this, as I said, try not that it's not pulling, spread the paint. And when you go to small parts like the head or other parts, then we are going to take a smaller brush, okay? For these parts I will go for especially for the legs, so we are going to apply this one here, okay? And then when we go to the clothes, I will change to a smaller brush, as well as most likely on the wings. Okay, this was Zenithal Prime using aerosol primer paint. I use the ones from Games Workshop, and if you want to have more details how to do zenithal priming, I have a video in my channel. I will try to put it in the description, but if I forget, you can find this quite easily in my channel. I explain how to do zenithal using aerosol can. Okay, so I will finalize to apply this layer. I will let it dry, and I'm back once it's dry. Okay, once the previous colors have dried, the next step I'm going to do the purple of the wings, and I'm going to use another contrast paint that is Magos Purple. We are going to apply this in the front feathers and also on this hair. Okay, so you will see that this will start as well giving some shading. So we apply this, and as all the other parts when we did the skin, we try to avoid that it's accumulating too much in some points. We try to be clean, as clean as possible. This is why I'm using a small brush. Okay, and we go like that. Okay. have. And now we do this type of hair, and as well these bottom things, okay? The same way we did the feathers, we try to avoid this accumulating too much, but we put enough to have shading, to do the shading between the parts, okay? Here, and I do the bottom. Okay, so, and then we let it dry. So here we have this side, and then the other side. Now I wait this dries, and I'm back. Okay, once the purple have dried, the next step I'm going to apply the green. So for green I'm going to use another contrast paint, and I will use we can use I will use the Quid Camo, okay? So we take this, it's quite a dark green, and we are going to apply this on the feathers, both sides. Okay, and again we try to avoid we accumulate too much in one point. And here I try to follow the shape of the feathers. Okay, you see, I'm doing this, and we keep doing the shape of the feathers. Okay. Here you see. And we do as well the back part, although here we have to be careful because it's already very dark, okay? And see, I try to just to avoid that to put too much paint, but you see that we have nice green color. Here the shading will be less obvious because we have a lot of paint, sorry, it's much darker because of the zenithal priming. Okay, we do the other one, and then we also going to do this type of color he's having. Okay. So I will paint the rest of the green, and I'm back for the next step. So this is how it's looking like once we have done the green. Next step, I'm going to use another contrast paint, and we are going to use Black Templar. Okay, so we are going to apply this on the different talons, on horns. This one have some small horns there. I will apply there as well on the head, and we are going to apply this as well on the claws and so on. So let's start with the tail because it's something that I want to show you. So I'm going to apply this Black Templar on the tail, okay? Because I want to make the tail look darker, like if it's have some type of. You can also I think contrast paints can help you also to do this type of color gradient, okay? So we are going to apply first Black Templar there, and now we are going to, with less in the brush, drag a little bit out, so it gives this finish, okay? And now we are going to apply this on the big talons on the wings. Here we just apply it. Okay, I tried not to. This is a little bit too heavy, because the advantage of using the Templar, the Black Templar, is that you can have some shading. To be fair, I really like this one. I think it's one of my favorite ones, the Black Templar. Okay, and I highly recommend it to anyone knowing doing this type of spikes. He has a lot of spikes all over the back, and this one, this model, this head has these two spikes that I will do as well in black. I will not use bone color on this one. I have the feeling bone color will not match very nicely with the rest of the color we have applied. And another thing I want to explain is Black Templar maybe is the only color that you can apply even if you have go over with the previous layer, okay? So Black Templar can cover if you have other colors on top, like you have seen in the tail, okay? So because at the end you just go darker and darker, right? The black, so should not have any problem. We are going to do as well these talons or claws he has on the yeah. Okay, so I finalize this, I let it dry, and I'm back. So now we have almost all the base colors done. We are going to do just the final thing. I'm going to use Gother Brown, that is another contrast paint, to do the bandages he has. When I can find it. Sorry. Cygor, no Gother, Cygor Brown, and we are going to put this on this type of leather strips or bandages he has on the legs. It's curious that he's having this thing there. I don't know why Abyss will have that, but okay. I'm applying this dark brown. This will not be maybe that visible at the beginning. Later on we are going to add some highlights, okay? So I mean the contrast, maybe it's not that visible at the beginning because we start with quite dark base. Because here the zenithal LED is quite dark, and on top sometimes we went over with the gray. Yeah, just ensuring that I don't miss anything. Here, and then this side is a difficult one. Stop it. Okay, I dirt in there. If you dirten a little bit, what I try to do is with water, try to remove it. Okay, and now let it dry there. So while this is drying, we can also do the mouth, and I will do the inside of the mouth with like a terracotta color. Okay, I will use something quite dark, that is Tuskor Fur. With that I'm going to do the inside of the mouth and the tongue. Okay, so what we do is I paint this type of fleshy thing here, so that is here on the side. Okay, and then I will paint the inside in that way. Okay. Then I do the tongue. And I do the tongue on the other side. We'll do the upper part of the mouth. Okay, so what I do is the middle, you can see, and then I leave the borders with the color. I do it right there. I do this part here. And we do the tone. Okay. And just be sure that everything is done. And I will apply the first wash. Okay, I have on the tone. Now we are going to apply the first wash. I'm going to use the Bachi Violet. And we are going to apply this wash on the feathers. So you can see the feathers had the contrast paint. I'm not super happy just with one layer of contrast. So now what I will do is I will apply the Bachi Violet and with a little bit more contrast on these feathers. Okay. Do it on the other side. And also the contrast can leave this pastel color. I want a more vibrant purple. Okay, so if you go a little bit on the green, don't worry. It will give almost a dark tone. Okay, and I will do this well on this type of fur or hair this creature has here at the back of the neck. Can apply it as well here at the bottom. And from the other side. And now I wait that all this dries. Okay, and I'm coming back. Okay, next step, I'm going to start doing the skin and the eyes. So I'm going to start with the eyes, and I will use Flies with Yellow on the eyes, okay? So we are going to paint all these eyes with Flies with Yellow. Some heads have two eyes, some have 4 eyes, and this one have 6 eyes, 3 per side, okay? Just to show the chaotic look. Okay, we do the eyes on that side. Okay, something like that. And now I'm going to take black. Okay, any black works for that, of course. And we are going to do like I like to do like a triangle upside down. something like that. Do the other side. I will put a little bit of yellow. It's needed to compensate. Okay, put too much black, so I go with yellow. And I put a little bit there. Okay. Next step, I'm going to start working on the skin. Okay, this can take a little bit more of time. What we are going to do is we are going to use these two colors, rust grey, Russian grey, and we are going to use as well the fang in some darker points. So I start with the mid-tone, that is rust grey. Let's do first here, and I apply first, this is the first highlight, and it's to help to prepare, so although will not look much lighter of the color we already have there, it's to help to make the transition softer. Okay, so we do something like that, and immediately I take Fenrisian grey, but is almost, it's a very light grey with a bluish tone. And we go over it. Okay, in that case I will do something like that. To pop up the eyes even more. Okay, then I will do the lip. So here you want to go okay, I put this type of nose or beak. It has at the front, and from the top we are going to do the same. So we take these lines and we redo them. Do the same on the other side. Okay, we do as well this type of lip. We do this type of nose or beak. Okay, and now we do the bottom one. It's always on the face, it's important to dedicate a little bit more of time, because it's really a focal point of any miniature, right? Now I'm going to use, as the inside next to the eye is very dark, I'm going to use the fang. We are going to add this type of highlight. Just there. And now you can add a little bit of raspberry. just a little bit. Put it here. And in that one. Here we don't have. Not that easy. Go to the bottom lip. I'm still using the mid-tone. Now I'm going to use the very light Fenrisian grey. And I stop around here. Okay, let's do the back. See, oops, this is also interesting. Okay, I will do a little bit of the back so you can see how I do that. So I start first with Raspberry. This will help me to give a nice base, and now I go with Fenrisian grey and I do the most extreme highlight. Okay, I like to give this, I will keep some of these shades. Okay, so the shades I have from the previous, from the contrast, I will leave it. So I try to respect the contrast effect, and I'm just working to exaggerate it. Okay, and then there is some small protrusions or small grains. We can touch them with Fenrisian grey to give a little bit, to show the texture of the skin. Important to leave the scars and these things like this hole, there in this black color. For example, this cat has here. So the tail, what I like to do, I think it's very efficient. First I go with Raspberry, the mid-tone, and I do something like that. Okay, if there is a hole or a cat, I respect it, and then on the black part I take Rush Grey and I try to be careful, but just do something like that. Okay, and now I will even exaggerate a little bit more the highlight, adding a little bit of Fenrisian grey. For example, we can go this one here. We can exaggerate a little bit the cat there to make it to even make it more visible. And now I will go just next to the raspberry. Carefully, quite thin, okay? I take again raspberry, the darker, the mid-tone. I will go next to it. And now we take a little bit of Fang, the Fang, okay, the darker gray. And I will go next to it. So in that way we create this interesting shading. We are going to work like that the whole skin. Okay, I do here the back, this one, then I go with Fenrisian grey here to simulate the transition a little bit. With Fang as well here. Okay, this is Fang. Now I take Rush. And finally I take Fenrisian. I do something like that. And to clean up, I go back to RAS and I clean up. Okay, and just following all this highlight here. Okay, let me do the leg so you can see another example, and then I will do. So for the leg, first I go with the fan because this is quite in a dark part of the miniature. Okay, again respecting all the previous pre-shade we did. Now I take RAS. Finally I take Ferrician. And I let it fade out. And at the beginning it will look very harsh, but you have to keep working the whole skin, so in a way that you compensate all the work on the skin, okay? So you have to keep working on that. I'm playing again raspberry here, okay? So of course, now I'm playing raspberry. You will see that the ras is too much light, so I take the fan. The fan will give me a nice highlight on these very dark areas, and also will help me to do the transition. Here I killed the cat. I killed one of the okay, one of the scars. Yeah, Cicatrix maledictium. Cicatrix means a scar. So in reality is the scar of the damn scar of the universe, the Cicatrix maledictium. So I go here, I will do this. I will do that. Then I will take here. And you want to go though with the lighter color. I will try to highlight the bottom of the cat. That, and I will do the same though. This one that we, by mistake, we went over. Okay, something like that, and something like that. That way the scar is visible. Okay. So I will keep highlighting the whole miniature, and I will come back to show you how it looks like when the whole skin is highlighted. So this is how it looks like when we have done the skin, okay? You see now it's looking halfway done, a little bit more. Now I'm going to highlight a little bit these feathers. I'm going to use the Calac Lilac first, okay? And we're going to use, or we are going to do, a very soft brush. So I take this brush, we divide this quite, okay, to a point where we are happy. And we are going to apply this starting from the tips of the wing, sorry, the wing of the feathers, and we are going to do this highlight. Okay, this will help to show a little bit more the details, and also to increase a little bit the contrast between the purple and the green one, okay? we are going to leave the base of the feathers darker, and this way I go more on the tips. Sorry, I went out a bit of camera. Okay, we take a little bit more of paint. You go, the dry brush, one of the important things is to be patient. Don't try to have the highlight very fast. If not, you're going to just start being chalky. Okay, I'm going to apply as well here on the top of this type of crest. Okay, something like that. I do the other side. Okay, I will do as well a little bit on the bottom feathers, ones that are at the base, what the bottom part of the neck. Okay, better. I want to insist a little bit more here, and I will do a little bit more here. Okay, next I'm going to use a green dry brush. Okay, so we take now this green, that is a Skarsnik green. Again, we divide nicely. We test in our hand, and now we start from the tip, leaving the base of the feathers darker. Okay, you can see, and again, the important thing here is to be patient. Try not to go too fast. On the bottom, as you can see, is very dark, so I'm going to apply very gentle. Okay, you see that not too much pressure. Now I insist a little bit more on the tip of the feathers. You can see now how much visible is the detail of the feathers. In this, the one that have the wings up, it's important that you dedicate some time on this part. I'm going to keep doing the other one before taking paint, because I want really to work with very little paint on my brush to this part, because the base color is very dark, so I want to be sure that I build up this highlight very softly, very slowly with my dry brushing, to avoid that it's becoming chalky and the highlights are too aggressive. And you can see now we start having I like to use soft brushes to do the dry brush. Again, I take again more paint. I dry it quite nicely. I test on my hand, and I go first to the front part of the wing. And the reason is here the feathers are lighter, okay, because the base color, the priming here was lighter. So we can start here. Here the contrast, you need a little bit more paint to have the same contrast. And now that I already have this take some paint on the front. I do the back of the wing again and keep insisting. Again, it's a matter of being patient, not applying too much pressure, and look how the color is building up. Look how these highlights are really building up. Okay, and this is more on the tip of the feathers. And I like to leave the base of the feathers like darker. Okay. Now I'm going to take a little bit more green. And I'm going to do the color. Just a little bit the glow by mistake, not a problem. Okay, what you can see. It's hitting mainly this type of ribs, and then I insist a little bit more on the external part. Don't forget to do the back. Well, there's a little bit on the back. Not. Although it's more difficult to reach. Okay, I don't do too much on the back. But you need to do a little bit, if not will look too flat. Okay, and again we go to the front. We have now a nice look. Okay. Next thing, I'm going to do another wash on the mouth. I will use Agvax Earthshade. So I don't use red directly on the side of the mouths. I prefer to use darker colors. Okay, so we can take a wet brush to do that. I will apply this on the tongue and as well. Again, and we apply this as well. Okay, and now I wait at this device and I will come back for the final touches. Okay, now next step we are going to do, has a lot of like metal rings all around the body. I'm going to do them with Iron Breaker. We do these rings of metal with Iron Breaker. Carefully not to go onto the skin. There are some that are a little bit spiky. Go take this one. Okay. We have another one here. Okay. Now let's do the different claws, and I'm going to use first Downstorm. multiply this. This will also eliminate this green that we have applied there by mistake. Okay, but we want to do something like that. Starting from the tip, we'll let the color fade out. Okay, again, starting from the tip. Okay, starting from the tip. We'll do the same for all the spiky things. Okay. Something like that. And now we'll do the same for the back spikes. So from one side, I do them all. I do as well the close here. Okay. Now we take a paler of a lighter gray, sorry. We'll use administrator gray. We are going to do the same, but stopping earlier. Okay, something like that. Just to give a little bit more. A little more interest on this close. This is really important for these big ones. For the little ones, it's not as important, but the big ones you need to add a little bit of color. The little ones we just do the tip. You can see I go from the top, I touch the tip, and then I realize that the little ones, we only did one side, I will do the other side with downstone. Okay. We can touch with the very light one. This is more spiky things that this animal have or these bees have, popping out of the skin. Okay, and we do the nails, this type of talons. Close. Okay, and do the talon. And now the close. And final thing, we are going to do the bandage for the leather straps that it has on the legs. Okay, I will use no morpher brown. And we are going to apply this on this type of, take too much paint. Okay, you see what I'm doing. Okay, we do a little bit of edge highlight. I don't do too much, I don't want to go too light with this brown. Okay, we do the other side. We do the other side. Here. The inside is the tricky part, and you see you can make this type of mistake. It's a good idea to do this before the legs. See, I'm touching this one. The access here is quite difficult. Okay, there. I will apply a little bit. We are not going to clean up. So I'm going to take Reaper, the Reaper. We're going to clean up this part that shouldn't be brown. Okay, something like that. And we are going to clean up the horn, the claw that we have, or talon that we have touched with the brown. This one. Okay, I'm using first downstone. Okay, and now I will use a little bit of administrative grey. Okay. Here. I forgot this talon here. Right. This is first. Always downstone and then administrative grey at the tip. And okay, and this is how it looks like. So this is a way to do the Raptoryx in my colors, a color scheme that I just did for them. So I hope you find this interesting. Okay, and here we have the Raptoryx done. So please let me know what do you think, if you have liked this tutorial. And as usual, thanks a lot for watching and see you later. Bye!